Guys think that they have to write before they go. Don't. Yeah, correspondence can work. I'm not saying there's never a time for it, but guys that get carried away with it, writing every day, they're writing back and the sky is blue and this is that. I mean, have a plan if you're going to do it and don't do it excessively. Simple as that. My name is John Adams. I'm one of the co-owners of a 4 and a 5th. I'm going to start this thing with a quote from Mark Twain, because I love this quote. And we'll circle back to this quote a little bit later. It goes something like this. And you guys have been here before and you've heard this quote. Okay, but I love this quote. So, 20 years from now, you'll be more disappointed by the things that you didn't do than by the ones that you did do. So throw off the bowlines, sail away from the safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sails, explore, dream, discover. I love that quote. That quote is freaking amazing. One of the reasons I really love that quote is we've been in business now for 28 years. We've been helping bring couples together for 28 years. Not 20, but 28. And I can tell you that we have guys coming up to us 20 years later saying, yeah, I really wish I would have done this. I really wish I would have pulled the trigger 20 years ago or 25 years ago. And they're still looking at the site. They're still thinking about it, but their mother, their father, their friend, their doctor, whoever told them, well, you better not do that. Might be dangerous, might be this, might be that. Very, very few men that I've ever talked to ever come to us 20 years later and say, boy, I'm really glad I didn't do that. I'm really glad that I didn't go to Mexico or to Colombia or to the Ukraine and take one of those tours or go individually and try and meet these women and these experiences. Really glad I dodged that bullet. I never heard that. I mean, I really never heard that. But I've heard the other. I've heard the part about, you know, John, I really wish I would have done that. Now I'm freaking 20 years older, more difficult, it's harder. Yeah, it really is. I mean, this is it. This is your life. It's not a video game. You don't get like 3 or 4 lives. This is it. Either you do it or you don't. Our goal is to motivate you to take that little baby step today. That little step that will put you on the road. It's not that hard. It's the best thing you'll ever do for yourself, I think. Even if you don't come away from this whole thing that you end up doing without meeting the woman of your dreams and living happily ever after. Even if that really doesn't happen and you don't happen to meet her on one of these trips, you're still going to come back and tell us that you thought it was one of the best things you ever did. It's still worth going over. It's the best value in singles men's travel today. It really is, whether or not you're successful. If you decide to move forward today with what we call our open reservation, so you don't have to decide today where you want to go. So when you do the $475 deposit, you can say, okay, it's going to be an open to a reservation. I don't know where I'm going to go. I don't know when I'm going to go, but I know I want to do it. And I know I want to save $700. So I'm going to give you the $475 now. And look, guys, quite frankly, $475 is not going to make or break us. And if it's going to make or break you, then you probably shouldn't be doing this right now. I mean, seriously, you should probably wait until your financial house is better in order and then do it, because you're going over to meet people, you know, and if you're not ready yourself, then you really shouldn't be going over and meeting someone and thinking about marriage and all that stuff until you're kind of at least in a decent situation where you feel comfortable about it. You're not stressed out about every kopeck or penny. But that $475 is not going to make or break us. Shouldn't make or break you. The reason that we're doing that today, the reason that we're saying, look, do something, make something happen today, because if you walk out that door, you're going to be one of those guys without doing something. If you walk out that door, you'll probably be one of those guys that are going to come back 20 years later and say, you know, I really should have done it, you know, and you're going to regret not doing something. But this helps you at least get on the road, because now when you do the $475 deposit, now you feel like you have a plan. Something's happening. Now you can start thinking about, okay, where am I going to go? What am I going to do? You're making up your plans, and then you're going to go. And that's exciting. Look at it that way, guys. I'm not telling you it's going to be perfect. Matter of fact, I'm going to first tell you that there's good, bad, and ugly on every of these tours, because you're dealing with real people. And when you deal with real people, you're going to have real things happen. You guys are here, and I commend you for being here. Most guys will never do this. Most guys will never think outside the box like you guys are. And I can almost guarantee that some of your friends told you you're probably nuts for even contemplating going outside the country to find someone. Oh, you're going to lose your kidney. Oh, you're going to do something. I mean, they're going to come up with a million reasons why you shouldn't do it. It's a really strange phenomenon, but I see that all the time. Some say they don't want you to do it, because if you do it and you're successful, you might leave them behind. Think about it. But nothing's ever going to happen unless you make it happen. It's only up to you. And hopefully you're getting a glimpse of what these socials are like. Is this? And I'll tell you, this does not even come close to really telling you what it's like when you're there in person. When you're there in person, it's just so much better than what you see here. You're only seeing a glimpse of what it's really like. But when you're there, you feel the energy. It's just such a different experience that you've never had before. Our socials. I'm not a big fan, I'll say again, of doing a lot of correspondence. Guys think that they have to write before they go. Well, John, I got to get something going before I go. I got to have this connection with someone before I go. I got to write. You don't. Now, if you want to, I know there's guys like Robert who works with us in Phoenix. He wrote to 3 Filipino women. He did sign up for a tour before he went, just to be sure. Got there. 2 of the women he was writing to, there was just no chemistry. Just wasn't. The letters were okay, but there wasn't chemistry. The 3rd woman he was writing to, there was chemistry. And he actually got engaged to her. He actually stayed down there for a while while waiting for the fiancé visa. He actually took her to the socials as a date because he was so sure about her. And then brought her back to Phoenix. And I walked her down the aisle, actually. So, I mean, yeah, correspondence can work. I'm not saying there's never a time for it, but guys that get carried away with it, writing every day, they're writing back, and the sky is blue, and this and that. I mean, have a plan if you're going to do it, and don't do it excessively. Simple as that. And do it with a plan, so you know you're going to be going over. Hey, I'm going to be there in a month. Would you like to meet when I get there? That kind of stuff, and go back and forth that way. But to write forever, that's ridiculous. I mean, no, you just should not be doing that. So just keep that in mind.
You too can experience the romantic adventure of a lifetime. Join men from all over the world as they take a trip and find their future brides.
Check out our website at costa-rica-women.com.